How's it going, everyone? It's Ben Foggins Media Corner back again with a brand new video for today. Welcome back to the movie review, aka our store review video for today. This time for this new episode for the series is going to be my review on the 2022 family comedy film. And this film's the third screen adaptation that's based on the 1948 semi-autobiographical book of the same name. And this film's also a reboot as well. And this is going to be my review on Cheaper by the Dozen. Now, like I said, this is a reboot to the Cheaper by the Dozen film series, and this is directed by Gail, Lerner, and this is actually her very first film as director. And this film tells the story of two parents who are played by Braff and Gabrielle Union, whom they call Paul and Zoe, and they're attempting to navigate their hectic home life in which they're they're juggling along to raise their 10 children from several different marriages, and they're also attempting to start a franchise in which they're trying to run a family business, which is basically owning a family-based restaurant, which is basically a breakfast food-based restaurant. So that's pretty much the whole plot synopsis for the Cheaper by the Dozen reboot. Now, when it comes to the previous film adaptations that we've had of Cheaper by the Dozen, the one that always pops into my head straight away when it comes to these kind of films has always been the 2003 film with Steve Martin. And I used to watch that film a lot when I was a kid growing up, and I still watch it to this day because it is one of my childhood films. And I used to watch the sequel to that film as well when I was growing up as a kid, Cheaper by the Dozen too, and I used to like that one, but looking back on it, in my opinion, doesn't really hold that well because I think that sequel is just okay, and it's definitely not as good as the first film. And I've never seen the original 1950s film before or anything like that, but once I heard that we were getting a reboot of Cheaper by the Dozen, as well as after seeing the trailer for this film, I just honestly did not know what to expect from this film overall, because I just didn't even know was this going to be unnecessary or an unnecessary film or anything like that. But I did like the cast who were in the film. Like, you've got some talented names who are in this film, namely Braff, who I think he's a talented actor, as well as a talented filmmaker, and Gabrielle Union, who I think she's also really talented as well. And I didn't even know much of the other cast members who were in the film other than the two main stars who were in this film. And I did watch this film on release day on Disney Plus, because this is a Disney Plus exclusive. So I watched this last year on the 18th of March. And after watching this reboot, I unfortunately was not a fan of this reboot overall. But I didn't hate everything about this reboot, because there was some stuff I did like in this reboot, which the things I did like in this reboot was the overall message of the film, which is basically about blended family. And I liked how this film showcases that here, and I found it to be really strong here as well. And as for the acting talent who were in this film, I thought everyone for the most part weren't too bad. Like Braff, I thought he wasn't too bad in this film, as well as Gabrielle Union, and the chemistry for the most part was pretty good. And for the kids who were in the film, I thought they weren't too bad as well. They were pretty cute for the most part. And as for everyone else, I thought they weren't too bad as well. Those are the things I did like in this reboot. The things I did not like in this reboot was the overall story, which I found the story for this film to be not all that great, because this film does tend to throw a few storylines here and there in this film, and I kind of felt a few weren't that focused on that much. Like, there was a few that felt pretty lacking and all that. Like, there's one involving the oldest child in the film, which he later on joins in with the family, and I just felt that wasn't that much depth to him or anything like that. And there was also not much depth to the kids who were in this film, which there's a few who were trying to show their arcs in the film, and I just didn't think there wasn't that much depth to them or anything like that, which that's another issue I did have with this film. There wasn't that much depth or anything to the characters or anything like that. It's mostly due to the kids in the film, and there was a storyline in the film where this film showcases the family trying to run their family business, which is basically a restaurant, which is basically a breakfast-based food restaurant and stuff like that. And I found that storyline to be uninteresting and stuff like that. And when it comes to the jokes and the humor in this film, there was a few chuckle-worthy moments here and there in this film, but there was just a few I knew I was going to get in this film. Like, there's a few slapstick jokes, some cliche jokes and stuff like that. Like, there's some pop culture references being thrown here and there in this film, like TikTok jokes and stuff like that. And there wasn't any jokes that I thought I was gonna get, which there was gonna be toilet humor in this film. I thought there was gonna be like poop and fart jokes in this film, but luckily this film doesn't show that here. There was just a few, like I said, I thought were chuckle worthy, but there was just a few that didn't really work for me. Like there was some like awkward cringe humor and all that. Like there's one where Zach Braff does a dance in front of the school and all that, and then he ends up hurting himself and all that, which that's kind of awkward and all that. And there's a few other moments like that being thrown here and there in this film. So overall, in the end, guys, this Cheaper by the Dozen reboot, like I said, I didn't hate everything about this film. There was just some stuff I did like in this film, but everything else that was around this whole film, I just really wasn't a fan of overall. And if you're willing to check out this reboot, it is available to stream on Disney Plus completely for free. So that's pretty much all I have to say about this Cheaper by the Dozen reboot here. I'm going to give Cheaper by the Dozen 2022 1.5 out of 5. Like I said, I didn't hate everything about this reboot because there was some stuff I did like in this reboot, but everything else that was surrounding this whole reboot, I just overall wasn't really a fan of here. And this is definitely not one of my favorite films of last year as well here. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my AK After Hours store review on Cheaper by the Dozen 2022. Let me know what you think of this reboot, if you have seen this already, or if you just recently checked out this reboot. Did you really enjoy this, or did you not really appreciate this? As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and this has been Falcon's Media Corner signing off.